Man, what's going on, world? It's your boy Captain Great. I'm back again. Just seen y'all earlier. Try to tell y'all had something new to the table. I got my boy next to me. Y'all see him, man. Y'all know him from Jello Suspense. You know what I mean? The honcho. My man Ace. What's going on, bro?
Not a whole lot, man. How you doing?
Man, cooling, man. You know, ready to bring this new thing to the table, man. Build your squad, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first, you know what I mean, insert. Many more to come. So pretty much, man, you want to go ahead and give them a little gist on how we what we bring it to them before we get going?
So we argue about stuff like this all the time. So we figured, why not bring it to here and let you guys be the judge of who's going
Right.
to build a better squad. So today we're doing top 5 most influential UFC fighters and top 5 most influential wrestlers of all time.
Oh yeah. So with that being said, y'all see what's going on. So we gonna start with MMA, man. We're gonna start with UFC. And you wanna go with your five since you're already prepared and ready to get it going?
Okay, at number 5, I have Anderson the Spider Silva. We're
Very,
talking
very good.
about a guy whose legacy is just ridiculous. He had the longest win streak in UFC history at 16. The dude did not lose for 16 years. You're
It's a
talking about
long time.
influential. That they made a whole Netflix documentary about this guy. He's absolutely ridiculous.
Facts.
He helped put Brazil on the map. And I don't know if you guys watch MMA, but Brazil is where a lot of the bad motherfuckers come from.
Indeed.
He used to just dominate everybody that he fought. It wasn't even close half the time. And had he
Yeah,
not been too cocky because he got tired of playing with his food and broke his leg, he may have never been beaten.
I
So at my
agree.
number 5 influential, I have Anderson the Spider Silva. What do you think about that one?
Man, that's a very good one, and it's very stern too, you know what I'm saying? Anderson Silva definitely deserved to be influential and looked at as that way. He's definitely a go to the game, changed the game, so forth and so on. So yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you on that one. My top five gonna start, and I'm gonna start at the bottom too. Uh I'm gonna say, and before I even go, I'm gonna cancel out Anderson Silva on my list because he was definitely on there. But I'm gonna cancel him out because I mean, whatever you said, is gonna go initially with him
Where,
after
where
I
did you
said
have where did you have him ranked on your list? Tell us
number
that.
three.
Number 3? Okay.
Yeah. So my fifth one though is Jose Aldo. Uh dude, I mean when he came in like a storm for real. He definitely held the belt down before what was that? It was like a middleweight or welterweight. It was I
He,
forgot.
he, was he was a little guy.
Little
Flyweight,
yeah,
maybe?
something like flyweight maybe, yeah, like but he did his thing over there, man. I was definitely a huge fan. I watched him actually convert to UFC because he was over in a different league. I want to say it was Bellator. Was it Bellator? No, it wasn't Bellator because that wasn't around then. It was a
Was he over
different
in WEC back then?
something like yeah, that's what it was. The same one. That's Conor McGregor. A lot of them cats came from over there in WEC around that time. Yeah, Jose Aldo though he did the double unification over there, and then he came over to UFC. Accomplished the same thing.
Used to just
And
run through people.
facts, and his knees was impeccable. You know what I'm saying? His knees and his elbows was outrageous. So that's my
I,
number five.
I forget who he fought, but after with how many leg kicks he gave him, he put him in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah, I want to say Diego Sanchez maybe
Somebody, yeah, he put somebody in
somebody
a
like that.
wheelchair.
I definitely remember that, bro. He definitely wheelchair somebody with them leg kicks. But yeah, that was my number five right there, Jose Aldo.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into my number 4 then. And
Okay.
this is a combination of people, but we're talking about influence on the entire game. I don't think we are where we are with the UFC nowadays if we did not have Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin fight each
Mm,
other on the first season finale of The Ultimate Fighter.
mm.
That is hands down one of the greatest fights of all time. It was a pick 'em the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
They went out there and they went to fucking war. You know what I mean? Because
I
of
agree.
that, that helped. That was right when UFC started climbing. If you
Right.
remember, like I think the first pay per view after that was Liddell versus Couture 2, which is where a lot of people really started watching. But this show,
Yeah.
when it used to be on Spike, kind of got off the ground and got everything running. We've
Yeah. If
had
it wasn't
numerous
for them,
champions.
if it wasn't for that fighting them two guys in general, I think the show itself would have been wiped out. We wouldn't
We're
even
on
be talking
season
about it.
31 now.
Man, kudos to
That's
that.
how influential to the UFC that one fight was right there.
That's dope.
31 seasons later.
Psh,
Numerous champions have come from that show, but had
most
those two
definitely.
not put on that performance, I don't think we're at where we are today. So that's why I have influential number 4, Bonner versus Forrest Griffin.
All right. All right. I definitely agree with that, man. That fight was, man, you can go look back at that fight right now and still be excited
Oh yeah,
the same way, you
absolute
know,
war the entire time.
facts. Okay. So my number 4, it was kind of a toss up, you know, uh, but I had to put Chuck Liddell in there. You know what I
I
mean?
can't argue with that.
I had to put Chuck in there, man. Man, it's the Iceman, dude. I mean, we talking about somebody with the craziest overhand right in the game. You know, that knocked out some of the best in the game. You know, and he made everybody change up a lot of their stuff coming into that time. Like, and he went on a good about a good 4 or 5 year run. You know, he always put up good money in the box offices and stuff like that, bro. Like Chuck Liddell. Then he go on, you know what I mean, to be an advocate for the business. And then on top of being an advocate, you know what I mean, he you know, giving back to his youth, you know, doing what he's supposed to do as usual, you know, when you get that opportunity to share with people.
Just an
And you know,
overall good human being.
man, for real, man, you would think after all that get knocking people out, you know what I mean, he would be like Iceman for real. It's like, nah, man, he really a good dude and he known for doing what he do. So Chuck Liddell was my number 4. And
I'm with you on that. And if you look at impact on the sport too, like I was just saying, that pay per view came right after my number 4, and
yeah,
that was what Liddell Couture 2, and that kind of helped take the whole thing off. They were the coaches on the show.
yep, yep,
So I mean, but you look at feuds wise, man. Liddell and Couture was a great one. Liddell
man.
and Tito
Oh man, that was
was
the one.
amazing. Absolutely hated each other. Still to this
Yep,
day, both of them hate each other. That's how real the love loss is there, man. Like
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
I like them good fuse, man. That even if it is real, like as long as nobody get hurt, you
Yeah,
know, like severely outside, and they keep it business. You know, like I love a good feud like that, man, because that's what you need to keep the sport alive. You know,
absolutely.
a good feud, it never fails.
So your number 3 is already gone, Anderson
Uh-huh.
Silva. I have a feeling I might. We've been too nice to each other. First off, we have not. This is not how we normally talk to each other, folks. But I'm gonna go ahead and kick into my number 3. At number 3, I have Ronda Rousey.
Mm,
At one point in time, the baddest woman on the planet. She was the first ever UFC women's champion. I don't think that the women's division is where it is today unless Ronda Rousey was paving the road like that. See, we got some notes here. She was also the first woman to ever headline a UFC pay per view. She had what? Out of her, she won her first 12 fights, and 11 of those were done in the first round. Everybody knew when you were fighting Ronda Rousey, there was one thing you could not do:
she
let
never
her
really
get a hold of
fought
your
her.
arm. But they couldn't stop it. It didn't matter. She was going to do it regardless. She also has 2 out of the top 10 most pay per view buys in UFC history. A woman headline pay per view has 2 of the top 10 most buys ever.
Okay, Rhonda.
Her legacy, she basically got dethroned by arguably one of the other baddest women on the planet that just retired last night, Amanda Nunes. Shout
She
out to Amanda
retired.
Nunes. She went out the way she wanted to. Champ.
She retired.
Yeah, she retired last night after the fight. She had them
Oh
cut off the
man,
gloves. She laid down both belts. She said she was done.
Hey, I mean, kudos to Amanda Nunes, man, giving everybody else a chance to live, man. That means I mean, yeah, once you accomplish everything,
You climbed
you
to
know
the
what I'm
top
saying?
of both mountains. You got nowhere else
Yeah,
to go.
yeah.
Now she's just going to go be a mother and and a good wife to her wife, man. And shout out to her, man. That's how
Shout
you
out
go out.
to her,
She went
man.
out with class too. But
I
without
agree,
Ronda
man.
Rousey, I don't think you had that moment that we had last night at that pay per view.
Man, I don't know about Ronda Rousey, man. I would put I'm a slightly disagree with that, but I'm gonna let you take that. I mean,
But I
because I
mean,
mean, she's still influential,
my thing
but
here is its impact on the game, and
right,
we have women headline pay per views more now than we ever have before, and that's because Ronda Rousey fighting Misha Tate, Ronda Rousey fighting Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey fighting Amanda Nunes. I think that she helped pave the way for where we are today.
yeah, I guess you can say that, man. If you putting it in that content, you can say it like that. I'll take it like that. But I still think like the Misha Tates and stuff, bro, was there putting in cold work, bro. Before they even gave the chance, they didn't really bring a lot of the title opportunities out for the women until Ronda Rousey came over. What's the Holly Holmes?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's a few of them between her. You know what I'm saying? That when she, but I mean, if you want to put it that way, if you putting it through stat wise, then I can't step on that. I can only disagree with it. But I mean, she did come in and reach the milestones and create the levels, I guess you can say, you know what I'm saying, for the women's division for sure. Because it wasn't nobody really like pushing the needle, but Holly Holmes. We didn't get to see really no cyborgs at that time, or you know
that's
what I
back when
mean, people
Cyborg
like
was still beating down on Gina Carano.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt bad for
Cyborg.
Gina. My girl, every one of those fights, I don't know why she was in them. She should have just stopped.
And it was like, man, do they let Cyborg come over there and just,
Yeah, they let Cyborg come to the UFC, and what happened? Amanda Nunez fucking wrecked her. And then she
I
was like,
knew
"Yeah,
that was gonna
I'm
happen,
gonna go
bro.
hang out at Bellator for a while, man. Fuck this."
Right.
I'm pretty sure Nunez wrecked her in the first round of that fight too.
Nunez, yeah, knocked her out, bro.
Yeah,
Man, beat her up quick.
and that don't happen to Cyborg.
Man, she got beat up real quick, real fast. I was shocked. I definitely was shocked, bro.
Let's
But
go
no,
ahead
that's
and
a solid
roll
one.
into your number two.
Man, my number two, uh, been a favorite, you know, came in and left his mark, bro. You know, I'm putting my guy GSP up there. You know what I'm saying? I fought with it. It was either gonna be GSP or damn it. The name not coming off my tongue right now, but GSP, bro, is my number two. Why do I like GSP? Because man, he just one of the coldest, man. Like
Without a
hands
doubt.
down. Karate master for sure. Then the way he came in, and then a lot of people gave him scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? Like he took it on the chin, bro, and came back and gave the people what they wanted, man. And I appreciate him for even taking it like a man. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he faced this, you know what I mean, consequences, and didn't really, let him take him out of that mission. Came back, won the belts in a couple divisions. You know what I'm saying? I think he done fought by what, two, three divisions. I think he done fought in like three divisions, bro.
I can tell you one thing: he retired twice and came back
Right.
and took the belt, and then just said,
And
"Thank you,
just
man.
left
We're
again.
good.
I'm
No,
like,
we're good, man.
I don't gotta
I
stay
came. I did what I
around.
wanted to do, and I wanted to prove that I
Right.
still had it, and I got it. So just so
Yeah.
y'all know, yeah, I got nothing but love for GSP, man.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre, and back in when he was really taking off, you
Yeah.
had a
He was
whole lot of
trouble, bro.
you had an influx of Canadian MMA fighters coming up
Yep.
at that point in time that he was working with. Rory McDonald back then was touted as the next big thing. You had Frank Trigg,
Man.
all came from that area. To this day, you still have solid Canadian fighters in MMA, and I
We
think that
said we seen that last night.
Yeah.
We seen that last night for sure. So
The Canadians still got it. They didn't go anywhere.
yeah,
They've
that's
been
right.
hiding for a little bit, but they're still out there.
Right. They got some stuff, man, and they always been ready, to go on whatever edge. So yeah, GSP, bro, that's my number two right there, influential.
I, I
You
I
know,
can't argue with that one bit. Like I said, it means something to leave when you're on top. And then
man.
he's also one of those people where I'll give him credit, man. Like a lot of guys, especially somebody like George Rush St. Pierre, MMA champion,
Yep.
would not admit that, hey man, like I actually have mental health issues and I doubted myself and I thought of this. And since then he's kind of spoken up and helped become an advocate for stuff like that. And I got nothing but respect for GSP.
Yeah, that's my number two. Very strong one, man. So what
I
we
got
on the
I got a feeling the arguing's about to start, brother.
man. Who you
You
who
ready?
you got, man? I'm ready, man.
My number two, the notorious Conor McGregor.
Oh man.
I'm going Conor McGregor at number two strictly because he was the first ever champ, two-time division champion. He's nobody else before him had ever done that. It's been done a couple times since then. He's the very first one to do that. You were talking about Jose Aldo. He's the
He
one that put him in his place pretty fucking quick and stopped that whole momentum train. If you're looking at it, he's a global icon. He puts off like Ric Flair style promos too. He doesn't give a fuck what anybody has to say about him. He will sit there and talk shit to everybody at that press conference because he knows none of them are going to come do anything. But outside of that, entrepreneur, he's got that proper 12 whiskey. He's a brand ambassador for the UFC.
Mhm.
Let's see, got some notes here. 5 of the top 6 highest pay-per-view buys ever were Conor McGregor. Number 1 all time was him versus Habib. Number 2 was him versus Diaz the second time.
Yeah.
Number 4 was him versus Diaz the first time. Number 5 was when he took the belt from Jose, and number 6 was when he became champ and took the belt from Eddie Alvarez. So right there, he's got 5 of the top 6. You're talking influential. If anybody in the world knows who Conor McGregor is,
Yeah.
maybe with all that outside noise, maybe not the best spokesperson for MMA, but he's definitely left his footprint on that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fight with you, bro. First MMA fighter to actually go and fight Floyd Mayweather, actually get Floyd Mayweather to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he
Uh,
didn't really look like a punk during that either.
no, but I mean, nobody is just gonna either call him out either. He the best in the business. He want to fight the best in the business, and that's just the game of the
And that man
combat
that man
sports.
sells pay-per-views. He's
Yeah,
a fucking pay-per-view machine.
yeah, he's a genius
And
for
right now
that.
he's coaching on season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter, and I can guarantee you that card that he's on for that, where he's fighting Michael Chandler, that'll break right back into that top 10. Because
No, that's
everybody,
about to break the bank.
whether you love him or you hate him, you either
Yeah,
want to watch him go out there and do Conor McGregor things, or you want to watch somebody put him in his place, and people will watch it every time. Whether you
I
love him or
agree.
hate him, you need to watch it. It's a car wreck. You cannot look away from a Conor McGregor fight.
I agree. Even though I feel like uh Conor McGregor or Nate Diaz, like one of them guys can be right there too.
Oh, the
Selling.
Diaz brothers, man, helped change everything. Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't make the top, they didn't make the list. So I mean,
I mean,
Conor
we can
McGregor
have an honorable mention for the Diaz's.
I mean,
We're,
yeah,
we're not gonna leave them, send them home empty handed.
right.
We'll give the Nate and Nick, an honorable mention, and you got your
Yeah.
name set on our show. So congratulations.
Right. Yeah, you got put in the
The
conversation.
Stockton slap is real. Both of you guys are marijuana advocates and have
Yeah.
helped change the rules in MMA and stuff like that for the better for that. And
Mhm.
hats off to you. They're game changers for sure. But I couldn't put either one of them in the top 5. I couldn't.
Yeah, I agree. Uh Conor McGregor, number 2. And I mean, besides Anybody else, bro? I mean, I don't know about who your number one is, but
One
my
more thing
number
about McGregor, real fast.
one more.
He
Go ahead.
basically, when I'm talking about promos and everything,
Yeah,
he's Chael Sonnen on steroids. Chael Sonnen used to talk himself into every title fight, everything else. It
and get beat up.
would make people hate him. He was just so good at talking that people like would he'd talk himself into things, and that's where I think
So,
Conor McGregor is right there too. Conor McGregor could leave for 10 years and come back. And I can guarantee Dana White would be like, no, you can headline that pay per view. I
I
guarantee
mean,
he's going to sell tickets.
yeah, that's automatic though. Like just like he doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like he really building up the sales if they already haven't expired. You know what I'm saying? Or ran
Yeah.
out. Uh, but yeah, Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, bro, he always talked himself into getting his ass whooped, bro. I never even really liked Chael Sonnen because he always talk shit and then he get his ass whooped. Just when he get a fight, and I feel like the fight gonna be even. You know what I'm saying? Chael
Yeah, he,
Sonnen get in there
yeah,
and get his ass beat
he
up.
gives you false confidence in him. He's really
Right,
good at that. Yeah, you're like, man, Chael Sonnen might be able to beat John Jones.
man.
No,
Next thing you know,
John Jones did not go out there and play with that
Basting,
boy.
Basting, man. That's a perfect segue to my number one. You know what I'm saying? John Jones, like he's not only my favorite fighter, bro, but I mean, even though he did what he did, man, you like I said, you gotta take some of that shit on the chin, and you
and
gotta keep going.
and you know what? If Conor McGregor's got a lot of shit outside the octagon too, and I put
Right.
him at number two. So let's hear a little bit more about John Jones. Why'd you do
I
this?
mean, man, because first off, you could not even fight. You don't even have to fight MMA. Like you could really be doing something else with your life. You got two superstar NFL brothers. You know what I'm saying? Uh dude, you got other sports accolades, soccer. You can play soccer good as hell. Like John Jones is actually multi-talented. You know what I'm saying? He got the built to be a good ass football player, but
Oh
you
yeah,
know, the love for fighting is in him. And bro, the situation he ran into outside of the ring, it fucked him up. I mean, it's
on a
going
couple different occasions, but like I said, I picked McGregor, so I can't argue with you
the
here.
bounce back is real, bro. I mean, if we want to talk about it, we could talk about the first fight with Cormier, or we could talk about his greatest fight, damn near of all to this date, Alexander Gustafsson. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a what's that we was talking about? Stephen Bonner and
Bonner and Forrest Griffin.
you know what I mean? Forrest
Yeah,
Griffin. That's like one of them kind of fights right there, like where you like, oh shit, like is
my
John Jones
my
about to lose right now? You know?
my one knock on John Jones is we're talking. I mean, he's definitely influential. I'm not going to argue.
Hmm.
He's the greatest fighter in MMA history. He has one loss, and it's by disqualification.
Right.
He beat somebody too hard. I'm not going to say what I've said a million times before, but yeah, he got DQ'd for beating
Yeah.
the shit out of somebody, which is what his job is.
Facts.
John Jones, though, with drug testing and everything, has wrecked so many. Like Daniel Cormier, did you see him after he found out John Jones failed that drug test and didn't get to fight him?
Man, he
Daniel
talked so
Cormier
much
cried
shit.
because he wanted it so bad. He wanted that moment so bad,
Bro,
man.
Daniel Cormier is a sucker, bro.
Well, I know, but
See what
like
you see what happened to him when he got the moment? Got
choked,
crashed on. I'm just
choked.
saying. Daniel Cormier, bro, he's a loser to me. Yeah, I said it. I know he got his 6 minutes of fame podcast too. I don't care if he clipped this either. I can't stand him. I never have. And I was super elated when he got the shit beat out of him. Not once, but twice.
And he almost got talked himself into a third time.
Oh man, even
I don't
that
know
was
why he'd go back for more after the first two.
right. Why would you even come back? Who said come back? Was that in the contract? Yeah, make sure you come back for the third time to get your ass whooped. You know, I know you don't want no parts of that, dude. And then like he still continued to this day to throw shade at that man, like smallly but surely. He actually had to call. This is how karma gets people. You know what I'm saying? He had to call the fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to call this man heavyweight debut. you know, and I wonder how that made him feel, bro. I wonder how that made. If I was Daniel Cormier, I would feel horrible. Like, damn, like I just talking all this shit, got my ass whooped twice.
I can't
Now
say
I gotta,
anything bad about him. You
now I gotta
know,
call right. I can't say nothing
I want him
crazy.
to hear me.
Right, I can't do nothing crazy, dude. I can't
Mumble
talk
some shit
shit.
under my breath. Maybe he won't hear me and come beat me
Oh
again.
man, that's crazy, dude. So yeah, I mean, then like yeah, we on that like the heavyweight champ, dude. Like either who does that? You know, who has that confidence to even go up there
John
and fight
Jones,
with
though,
them
he,
guys?
he irritates the fuck out of me, bro. He will like literally find any excuse to get out of fights.
I mean, so you
He, he,
saying he
he was
got
like,
out of the fight with Francis?
I want to fight Stipe. I want to do this. And then Stipe kept telling him, he's like, I'm down. What are you talking about? And then
Yeah,
John Jones would find a reason to be like, oh, well, Stipe got his hair cut. I don't want to fight him no more. And he talks
yeah.
himself out of some shit. I think that he's the smartest fighter we've ever seen. He's not stupid, but whatever happened with that Stipe fight? Now he's going in, and I know we both got feelings on this. He's going in and fighting an absolute stud his next fight in Pavlovich. And I'm telling you right now, if John Jones is smart, he's going to wrestle, 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 and avoid that left on the way in. Because if he does not, he has never been hit like that dude can hit.
Right. It's a kind of scary fight. It's a kind of scary fight, bro. I mean, Pavlovich is a monster, bro.
I think
He's
the
a monster.
Stipe was more of a legacy thing, where he could have
How though?
beaten arguably. With Stipe was arguably the greatest heavyweight champion of all
So
time.
to beat Stipe,
So to beat Steve,
no,
to abandon your belt at lightweight because nobody could beat you,
right?
come up and whoop up on a number one contender, and then
Yeah.
beat the best to ever do it. You can hang your hat on that all day and just ride
I
off into
mean,
the
he
sunset.
already hanging his hat on something. You know, he the first to come up from lightweight to heavyweight and win the heavyweight division unless somebody else done that
Randy
already.
Couture.
Oh well, see, there it is. And he done it. He done it numerous times. You know, Randy Couture, that's my guy right there. I fucks with the natural for sure, man.
That's him. That's him right up there.
Man, getting it in. Nice autograph on that thing too. Fighting Big Nog or Little Nog.
That's big nog, man. You can tell by the head size.
Right. Yeah. I see the you right up here at the top. Yeah, that's my number one though, bro. You know, John Jones, you know, I mean, I just love the guy, dude. Like, I mean, it's nothing like it right now, you know what I'm saying? Besides cats like Adesanya and
Yeah,
uh
Stylebender's the truth.
I love Stylebender. I didn't like him at first, but I respected him just after this trilogy that he went through. They not
Yeah,
gonna count the other fights because it was in a different league, but I have. Like I don't care. You can fight me in 7 different leagues.
you
Every
got
last
smoked.
one
You got
is a fight.
smoked 3 out of 4 times.
Right. Yeah, it's simple as that. I'm
You
counting
got
them.
that one though. You got the one. You got
Yeah.
your belt back. And
And
Pereira's like,
yeah,
I'm
that's the
tired.
most important
Pereira's like,
one
I'm
for
tired of
me.
whooping on you. I'm moving up.
That's the pro that like I told myself, I said he has to prove himself going into that fight. You know
Well,
what
let's
I'm
give
saying?
Stylebender an honorable mention too, then,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely throw
because he
Stylebender
is
in there.
incredible to watch. He
Man,
is.
he,
He's a reincarnated Anderson Silva.
I
He
swear.
is. Every
I
one of
mean,
his fights is so entertaining. He's unorthodox. He goes out there
yeah,
and gives it everything he has. He's got that little bit of cocky to him too, like Anderson did,
a
though.
little bit.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I'm trying to be
A
nice
lot
here.
of it.
We just gave him an honorable mention. I'm not trying to make him sound like a dickhead.
Right. He got a lot of bit of that shit. That's what it make it exciting though, bro.
Okay, let's roll into my number one.
Let's get it.
And I don't want it to sound like a cop out because without this guy, UFC would not be a thing, in my opinion.
Okay.
Number one, Hoist Gracie, the one that proved
Ooh,
the guy that proved that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by itself can beat anything else out there.
I
He
like
won
that.
he was the original UFC champion when they used to run tournaments. This guy would fight. They didn't have
First
time
ever.
rounds. They would just go until somebody died. He was fighting dudes 70 pounds heavier than him and smoking them. He
That's when
won
you
three
get
out
hit
of
with the palm.
he won 3 out of the first 4 UFC tournaments. Like he's fighting multiple times a night, sometimes hours at a time. And I think that right there, if you just look at the impact of him proving that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what it is, there's
Yeah.
not there's very few fighters on the planet now that are well-rounded that aren't like at least a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because they know how important that is. And the Gracies have their own form of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, which is regular BJJ on fucking steroids. The
Yep.
Gracie family as a whole, but
What's
the
that
high,
shit? What's that
you got
shit
to, you
Bruce
got to,
Lee made? Jeet Kune Do. That's exactly what it is. It's like Bruce Lee creating his own form of karate.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, they man, I love the Gracies, dude. Every last one of them, for real, man. They all them, like you said. If it wasn't for them, the UFC game, period, like
yeah.
it wouldn't have no clarity.
Imagine Hoist Gracie doesn't win the first UFC, and there's just a
Man,
285-pound hairy ass gorilla in there just beating people. They're like, oh well, the bigger guys are always going to win. Hoist
I
Gracie
mean,
proved that it's not about that. It ain't the
yeah,
dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog.
man, he fought that one big dude out and took him down, and man, then there broke his
He was
ankle.
fighting boys like Tank Abbott back in the day.
Man,
You know
Dan
what
the
I mean?
Beast
Like,
Severing,
yeah, Dan the Beast, Ken Shamrock. He
them
was fighting
real,
dudes
them
like
real
that.
boys.
And more than one of them, this one they didn't have gloves. They didn't have, you
Right,
know what I mean? You could not do two things, I think. You could not bite somebody or poke them in the eyes. That
that
was
part.
it. That was it.
You could knee on the
Everything else
ground.
went. Everything else went, man. Bare
Yeah,
knuckle, just going at it. And he's
and
out there in a gi.
shout out to one championship fighting too, because they allow that stuff like kicks and like you can kick a person when they on the ground still. Like
Yeah,
it's
you can
almost
kick people
like
in the face.
right, yeah. Like so,
There's no downed opponent. Just don't go down.
right,
Those
yeah.
are the
You go
rules.
down, you
You go
still
down,
could
you're
get
gonna get
hit.
fucked up.
Exactly. That's where
Stay
you
on your
don't
damn
want
feet.
that at.
Yeah, don't be stupid. Stay on your damn feet.
That part. Try to win one of the two. To
Yeah.
stay standing up or win. No choices. I actually like them lists, man. It wasn't too much to argue on. We got a little bit on it. I feel like the arguing is about to come for the next part.
I think so too, just because I think that I have such a long list of honorable mentions on this other one, the wrestling, of
Yeah.
people that I could argue to put in there, but I have other people in there for different reasons. So I think that the
Okay.
wrestling, you just want to dive right into it?
Let's get it, brother.
Okay. My number 5 most influential wrestler. We're talking all time. Okay. And this is my personal 5. People, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Everybody has their own opinion. That's why you're allowed to have your opinion. I'm
Hey,
allowed to have mine. Yours is wrong, but
facts.
let's talk about it. At number 5, I have 16-time champion John Cena. John Cena. Let's talk about this for a minute. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to be looking
Go
down this.
ahead, break it on down.
You're talking about just a person that's an overall just great human being. He
Yeah.
has a Guinness World Record for 650 Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes granted. That's a true pioneer, that's going out there and doing the right thing, and making
Yeah.
the WWE name look great. He's a 13-time WWE champion, 3-time heavyweight champion, 2-time WWE tag team champion, 2-time world tag team champion.
Hmm.
He won 2 Royal Rumbles. He won a Money in the Bank. He helped save wrestling when it was in kind of a weird period there, and started the ruthless aggression era in like 2003 when they were starting to struggle.
And true.
He has 2 of the longest title reigns in WWE history. From 2005 to 2006, he was champion for 380 days. From 2006 to 2007, he was champion again for 380 days. And the guy has used his platform of wrestling to catapult into megastardom. He's starring in movies. He's doing all sorts of other things. John Cena, there's memes on him. You can't see me. Everybody knows who John Cena is.
Right.
If you don't, you've been living under a fucking rock. So my number 5, most influential,
If you
John
don't know
Cena,
who John
for
Cena
all
is,
those
for
reasons
real,
and more.
I'm gonna need you to get your life together. To
Yeah.
be honest, I'm definitely. I can't battle with that man. I thought he was. As long as he's not number one.
No, you're gonna be pissed off by my number 1.
As long as he's not number one, I think I could deal with him being at number 5. I can still give him his props. I like John Cena. I feel like some of his gimmicks he didn't have to do, but at the same time, it made him who he was as a superstar. Like you said, when the wrestling world was, fiending for that next one.
Yeah.
We didn't have The Rock no more. We didn't have Stone Cold no
He
more.
was close to getting cut off the roster too. And
Yeah,
look
he
what he's turned
was. But
himself
before
into.
he changed it up,
Yeah.
before he changed it up to that "You Can't See Me" gimmick,
Yeah.
the other
He was the
John
doctor
Cena
of
was going
thugonomics.
right out.
Yeah, the doctor of thugonomics, man.
Man, and when he did that, I was like, okay, I had to watch this guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Uh, man, I can ride with that. That's a good one though. It's a solid number 5 too. Uh, my number 5 though. I don't know if you might want to argue this or what, but and if anybody else want to argue anything we saying, don't mind to, drop your argument in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we got nothing but time. We'll argue with every single one of you.
All day.
Comment, do whatever you want to. I
Whatever
got
you
nothing but
feel.
time to argue, boys.
Man, Triple H, bro. Number 5. Uh, I'm gonna start off by saying, 6-time Grand Slam champion. You got to be influential for real to win Grand Slam, the Slammies. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting a Slammy in your life, 7-time WWE Intercontinental champion. You know, uh, 14-time world champ. you know, Shout out to the greats. If you've been there and done it, then you know what it take to get there. Plus, ain't nothing like scoring the owner's daughter. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Secure that bag, baby.
Right. You know what I mean?
Go
You
out there
get
and get
in,
that
you
money.
get these like that, man.
And she used to be fine too. She's still probably a good looking gal, but back in
Right.
the day, man, Stephanie was no joke.
Yeah, Stephanie was hidden. Uh then I'm gonna go with the fact that one of one of the greatest, if not the greatest faction to ever hit wrestling, period, bro. DX, man. I mean, bro, it changed everything about what you had to do going forth, probably for the next now 20 years and now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of it, like, dude, factions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it changed the whole outlook on
That was
teaming
back
up,
in like 98. It
bro.
was like 25 years ago.
Man, it was, man, golden times, dude. Like, stuff like that you'll never see again. We seeing a lot of stuff, but it stays. You know what I mean? And then you couldn't tell. Some dudes did have hate against another cat, but they were so good at throwing it into the stories and, getting it. Man, I loved it, bro. DX, hottest faction ever. That's like an honorary mention for me right there. DX. Uh, and my number 5, the
I,
Cerebral Assassin.
I'm not gonna argue about that one bit. You're talking about one of the better theme songs ever too.
Man, it's time to play the game.
Yeah, like you knew what the fuck was going on when
Them
Triple H
green lights hit. You know
when
what
that
I'm
Motorhead
saying?
hit. You knew it was about to go down.
Man, them streams hit.
The
Oh,
only thing I'm gonna sit here and argue with you about Triple H though, bro. Could you just drink some of the fucking water instead of spitting it all over the first 5 rows? You know what I mean?
right, spitting it all over me.
Those people in the front row too are probably like, "Oh
What?
my god, Triple H spit on me! This is the best day of my life." In the
Right,
back of my mind, I was always like, "Why is it? What is this motherfucker's problem? He's just out
man.
there
Why
being a
would you do
sprinkler
that?
every fucking week, man. Reel it in, buddy. Drink some of that shit."
Hydrate,
Yeah,
hydrate.
man. He put it in his mouth and spit it all over the crowd, then dumped the rest on his head. Drink that
That
shit.
probably caused this couple injuries he had got in the ring. I remember he pulled his tore his ACL in the
Probably
ring.
he wasn't hydrated. Probably
But it looked right. He's spitting all that damn
needed
water
more
out his
H2O, man.
ACL. You know what I'm
Less on
saying?
the skin, more in the body.
Get your life together, man.
But no, I can rock with Triple H, man. I
Mhm.
can definitely do that. And you're talking about when wrestling needed to be saved, in my opinion, during the Monday Night Wars. DX was a big part of that. So I'm not going to argue with you about Triple H one bit.
Yeah,
And I can
for
tell you that
sure.
he did not make my list. So we're still looking good.
Boo.
I do have HBK though, Shawn Michaels,
Woo.
as one of my honorable mentions.
Damn it.
No, no, no we can talk about it
Oh, he
later.
not on the
But
list. He not on, okay.
no,
Okay.
no. But what I'm saying is, we were just talking about DX, so I figured I'd say that he
Okay.
was one of my honorable mentions, and I told you I have many of. He didn't quite crack my top five, but if
Hmm.
somebody put him there, I'll totally get it.
Okay. Okay.
So I honestly think I might have my number four underrated. I don't know how people are going to respond to this one. My number four, The Undertaker.
Oh,
When that theme song hits and the lights go out, you know what time it is. He was
indeed.
doing it at such a high level for so long. He has Sports Illustrated made it one of like the top 10 streaks of all time.
Yeah.
21 straight WrestleMania wins. He has arguably the most iconic match ever against Mankind in that Hell in a Cell. That
Hmm.
is one of the top 5 matches of all time. So you
Fact.
got to put him up there. We're talking about the streak of his WrestleMania streak started in 1991 and didn't end. It started at WrestleMania 7 and didn't end until WrestleMania 30 when they finally let Brock Lesnar beat him in
Okay.
2013. That's absolutely ridiculous. But his entire career, the most respected person in the locker room. He started that Bone Street crew back in the day, if you remember hearing about them, where it was him and Rikishi and a bunch of other people, but
When they was
they didn't put up with shit from anybody. If you got out of line and you did something wrong,
fact.
you went to wrestling, what they call it? Like wrestling court. And
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Undertaker was
yeah.
the guy
Yep.
who would
Yep.
figure out what the punishment was going to be.
Undertaker was the
He was the
judge
most
for
respected
real.
person in the locker room.
Yeah.
And the reason he's also my right there is because his entire career up until when he realized he was getting ready to retire, he stayed
Uh-huh.
in character. He didn't talk to the media. He wasn't on social media. You didn't know a damn thing about him. He kept kayfabe alive, which is nowadays with the social media era, it's harder to do. But he was
Man,
in character 24 hours a day, pretty much, unless there was nobody else around.
he used to say
You
that
never got to look into Mark Calloway's life until he wanted you to.
every time he left the airport, bro, he just getting, what I mean, headed to some event. Like, bro, man, gangs of people trying to run and get to him. And he
Oh yeah,
just never break character, you know what I'm saying? Then he
oh yeah.
finally get to the car and he get to talking to Paul Bear, you know what I'm saying? He probably
But
thought,
yeah, I mean, and then you're talking about, well, yeah, Paul Bear, one of the better, like,
man,
managers of all time. But he had his feuds with Kane that were
right.
iconic and legendary. You know what I mean? Him and Shawn Michaels had a hell of a run together. Him and Triple H had a hell of a run together. I
Hmm.
think that you cannot have a top 5 most influential list without the Undertaker on it.
Man, I agree, bro. I definitely agree. Uh Shout out to the Undertaker, man. I mean, he been a part of my life since wrestling really began and got, what I mean, got on fire.
I remember when I was younger, I was probably like 5 or 6. I didn't know how wrestling worked. It was back when it was
Right.
only on Saturday mornings. I watched The Undertaker. I watched The Undertaker when he came out. It was on a Saturday morning. Buried Hulk Hogan in a grave and was
And that's
inconsolably
classic.
sobbing because I thought Hulk Hogan was dead. I didn't
Oh yeah.
realize it was wrestling. I was like, no. I was trying to explain it to my mom at the time. I was like, Mom, he buried him alive. Like he's dead. He can't come
we
back
just we
from
just
being
saying,
buried.
man, kill
She's
him,
like,
man.
He'll be back next week. I was like, shut up. I watched it. You didn't. I saw what happened. He buried that dude.
And look, he
Gone.
came back. He ended
Yeah.
up
And then
coming
like
back.
2 weeks later, like, oh, okay, it's back on TV. Right on. He didn't
Right.
really die. I was a little bit better off then, but yeah, he was the Undertaker was the best heel of all time, and he could have been the best face of all time.
Facts. Man, that's a good, bro. That's strong, bro. That's two strong ones right there so far. John Cena and Taker. That's a good one. Uh, Bro, I'm going back to back, bro. You kind of segue right into my number four.
Do what you got to do.
Man, my man, four-time professional wrestling match of the year winner. You know what I'm saying? Back to back Royal Rumble winner, two-time WrestleMania event. You know what I'm saying? Event T. The showstopper, bro. the main event himself, man. HBK, man.
My
Bro,
favorite wrestler of all time.
I mean, first off, we can start all the way back from the Rockers.
Him and Marty Jannetty.
Shout out to Buddha Lovers Bud Club, man. I see y'all over here in the chat. Y'all see that WWE Most Wanted Treasure show? Yes, I did, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we did. Definitely dope as hell. I just seen the episode before I go too deep. I just seen the episode with Lita meeting up with Goldberg and getting the jacket. He pulled out the jacket from when he first appeared on WWE. It was a Harley Davidson jacket. Uh, but yeah, bro, HBK, dog. I mean, you can't go wrong
Nope.
with not nothing, dude. I mean, the Rockers, man, he brung in Marty Jannetty with him.
Threw him through the barbershop window.
Bro, in your house pay-per-view, bro, 1995, 96. I think it was in your house 96. You know what I'm saying? Threw him through the mirror. Right there. Brother Love was interviewing him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's dopest wrestler to me. One of the dopest wrestlers around. And he was like real life. He was real life the showstopper. He was really that. You know what I
And
mean?
and
Him and
and
the
the whole
Undertaker made some of the coldest matches, bro.
the whole point of this list is influential. And you're talking about, we've already brought up DX, one of
Yeah,
the most influential, things that has ever happened in wrestling.
yeah,
Like you can't get much better than Shawn Michaels.
man. One of the first ones to beat Bret Hart and
The
take away
Montreal
the
Screwjob, one of the best stories in wrestling history.
still to this day. You
Yeah.
can't nobody's beat
He had to get the fuck out of that building. There was real life
fast.
smoke on that.
Fast. It was
Yeah.
supposed to go that Bret Hart won the belt in his home first ever hometown pay-per-view at that time. I think it was.
He
I
was getting
think
ready to leave for WCW.
right. And they did
There
the
was that film
pay-per-view.
crew there,
They did
what
it.
Beyond the Matter, whatever was there. And
Yep.
like Bret Hart was like, man, I got a feeling something's going on. So we talked to Earl Hebner, the referee on the plane, bought him a first class seat to sit right next to him. And he's like, hey man, I'm telling you right now, let me know if something's going to happen. And Vince McMahon ahead of time was like, hey man, like, we're not going to do anything. We're going to let you ride off into the sunset. But they couldn't do that, because if they would let Bret Hart ride off into the sunset, that was a bad look. So there were only
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 people that knew that was going down. It was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Vince McMahon, and the referee. That was it, man. And everybody had to get the fuck out of Dodge after that match was over.
Dude, they was gonna kill Shawn Michaels. They was
He
like,
knocked him out cold in the locker room after
messed
that.
up the walkout. You know what I'm saying? You done
Yeah.
messed up the last match. Now I gotta leave with no title. You know, so I can't leave at the top of the mountain. I think that's really what was supposed to happen, bro. And man, Brett got real life screwed up out of that, which created the craziest WWF storyline of all fucking time.
That might be number one.
That's like number one of all time, bro. The Montreal Screwdrive. They even made a whole documentary on that. Just that's when I knew it was like Malice in the Palace almost. You
The
know what
Dark
I'm
Side of the
saying?
Ring that they did on that was great. You ever watch Dark
Yeah.
Side of the Ring? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just watched the new one last night, today, matter of fact. Sorry about that. Magnum TA.
There's a
The
new
first
one?
the original Hulk Hogan for real. Like, and then like his story was tragic, but it's inspirational as well for real. I'm just watching that today.
Shout out to Dark Side of the Ring. Those boys do
Definitely.
amazing work over there.
Shout out to man. If anybody's seen that Floyd Mayweather exhibitionist fight too tonight, it got real chippy at the end, bro. I thought somebody was about to get bodied. It was crazy before we even go too crazy. I was just sitting there like, oh shit. Like Floyd Mayweather goons just jumped in the ring, bro. I never seen nothing activate like that in a while. Since damn near the Buster Douglas fight when he fought one dude and everybody jumped in the ring and got to going crazy. But that's on another note. I had to throw that out there. That was just it's because it's fresh on my head.
Off topic, but fuck, that was something.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, man, HBK. You know, that's my number 4, bro. Man, top man. He definitely at the top of the pinnacle with all the greats. You know what I'm saying, for sure. But that's my number 4 influential right there.
You say you were going to do it back to back?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back to back. Uh, my number two. I mean, my number three. Sorry about that. My number three, hands down, is Rocky Maivia. Uh,
He was on my honorable mention list.
you know, man, turned up instantly. Main event every time. Came in from the blessings of his father and everybody else in the family. Speaking of the Reigns, is like Roman Reigns. We got the Usos. We got Rikishi. We got a lot of these cats because of The Rock, and that's how you make a huge staple, impact, footprint, however you want to put it, on the game, man. You feed your family and you allow them, you know what I'm saying, to come in and do their thing as well. Man, greatest rivalries ever with Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? Them guys, the greatest duo, one of the greatest duos ever to me. The
The
Rock
Rock
and
and
Sock,
Sock connection.
one of the coldest duos ever to me. Because you had two different sides of the wrestling spectrum coming together. You got Cactus Jack, that you got Mankind that play 4 or 5 different other characters. You know what I'm saying? It just happened that he wanted to be himself. You know what I'm saying? Teaming up with The Rock, and dude, that was golden times, bro. Attitude, WWE attitude.
You
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 know what
get
I'm
you gave
saying?
me a good segue on my next one too. But
You
you're
know,
talking about The Rock. You can't not talk about the Nation of Domination,
man, facts,
which
facts.
once again back during that Attitude era when they needed something, that showed out, man. That was kind of controversial what they were doing too, man. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, that was, that was something that nobody really ever talked about.
no, man, dude. And then the
That
people they
yeah,
had. Like the people they had in their whole faction, like Farouk,
yeah.
you know what I
Ron
mean? Mark
Simmons, yeah,
Henry, D'Lo Brown, the Godfather, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Kama Mustafa was his name
yeah, man.
before, he was the Godfather. They had a
And then
definite
their rivalry with
faction.
DX was terrific for television.
They blew up the TVs every week when they getting on TV, bro, going against DX. The
Although, I
Rock
mean,
alone, bro, he just sell the show.
we were talking about John Cena. Everybody knows who John Cena. Every last fucking person on this earth knows who The Rock is.
Facts.
Unfortunately, I just found out his TV show Young Rock got canceled the other day, so that's not coming back for another season. And the XFL lost $60 million this year. But
Just doing that little bit,
other than that, he's killing it. He's absolutely killing the game. So I can
just
see why
doing
The
that
Rock is
little
still
bit. I don't know why this fly just decided to come join the show, but he'll be all right.
asking what it's got to say.
He buzzing. Nah, yeah, bro, The Rock, dog. That's my number three right there.
You gave me
What
a
you
good
got?
segue. You were talking about the Rock Stone Cold rivalry. At number three, I had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Sorry about that,
We're
y'all.
talking about the Attitude Era. We had the Monday Night Wars. Stone Cold
Facts.
is exactly what they needed at that point in time. Somebody that
Just
could
a
come out.
compliment.
He has some of the most iconic, spraying down Vince McMahon with the beer truck, him crushing cars with the fucking monster truck.
Man,
How many people on this earth would like to tell their boss, flip them off and fucking kick them in the nuts? Everybody,
and then
everybody
hit
would
him
love
with
to
a
do that.
finishing move, though.
Stone Cold did exactly what the fuck he wanted to.
Yes, he did at all costs,
Yeah, I think
with
Stone
no
Cold
with no nose involved.
still to this day, if you hear that glass breaking, that music, you know what the fuck's going on, man.
Hell yeah,
Stone Cold is still to this day that dude.
I love him,
So
bro.
for that reason, man, I probably shouldn't have had him ahead of the Undertaker, admittedly, but Stone Cold, man, saved wrestling when it needed to be saved, man. It was him, DX, and The Rock. All that we got all that out of the way now.
Man, that was man. Some of the top cream of the crop wrestling, dude. At
The
its
best
finest.
when wrestling was at its greatest
Yes,
was during
yes,
that Attitude Era, man.
definitely agree about that.
Everybody's too soft to go back that way now. We'll never have that back.
So, what you gonna double up this time, man? You gonna lead us into the number one slot?
We got two left.
We got two levels. Number two, my fault.
So number two, I wish I can't even cut the promo like I want to right now. I'm going to talk about the 2-time Hall of Fame inductee, the
Okay.
16-time world champion,
Oh, I think I
the
know where you're
greatest to
going with
ever
this,
touch a microphone, Ric Flair.
man.
Woo! You know
Man,
exactly what the fuck's going on when you hear that.
high
Everybody
flying,
on this planet knows who the fuck Ric Flair is.
man. Rolex wearing,
He's been traveling the
wheeling,
planet
dealing.
wrestling since 1972. 51 years he's been doing this.
Facts.
Arguably the greatest to ever fucking lace him up, man. We're talking now, granted, he's done some other stuff, that's outside of the ring that probably wasn't all that great. But you're
Hmm.
talking about dynasties. His daughter is arguably the best women's wrestler of all time, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
Ric Flair is my number two, strictly because he's always been that dude. He will always be that dude.
man. I love Ric
The
Flair, bro.
slickest motherfucker ever, man. Mr. Steal Your
Dirtiest player
Girl.
in the game.
Mr. Steal Your Girl, Ric Flair.
Man, the Rolex wearing, high flying, wheeling, dealing, a plane flying, Rolex wearing,
I don't have enough time to memorize all that.
limousine ride.
I didn't have enough time to memorize that before the show. That's my bad.
Oh man,
I should have been able to throw that shit up real fast, but there's a lot going on there. My number two, Ric Flair, two-time UFC Hall of Famer. He got inducted as Ric Flair, and he also got inducted with the Four Horsemen.
Oh yeah, man, love it. Four
51
Horsemen,
years.
one of the greatest factions. Another faction I love watching, dude. Arn Anderson, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko. Man, one of the coldest factions. I love it.
It might have been the original faction. Now that we're talking about it,
Yeah, if you want
I
to
couldn't
say
name
you
one
want to keep
before
it
them.
technical, yeah. Before any of them, yeah, it wasn't no NWOs or nothing like that before the Four Horsemen. Yeah, I definitely ride with that, bro. Uh, man,
I thought we were going to be arguing way more than we are, man. I'm not going to lie. This can't be entertaining for anybody watching this right now.
man, look, I mean,
We're over here fucking playing patty cake and shit, haven't
I
argued
mean,
one time.
I think the basketball, you know what I mean, when y'all catch us again on the next segment, the next episode is gonna be the top five. What we say it was gonna be about the lineups, you know what I mean?
It was
Greatest
gonna
basketball.
be build your starting five all time
Like we
greatest
can't.
NBA players.
That's all I'm gonna give y'all on that one. That's where it's really gonna heat up at.
Oh,
I think
there's gonna be some cussing in that one for sure.
we go. I know for sure it's going down with that for sure. Uh, right now, I mean, but we on subjects that's like more, common to the ear and to the mind with people. So, and then it's us like when we know each other and how good we like, what I mean, how much we like wrestling and MMA. You know what I mean? That's a huge comment for us.
Well,
It's
that's
kind
why I
of
wanted to do this show, man, because it's a bunch of stuff. We have endless amount of topics we can talk about, and it's stuff that we're actually passionate about.
most definitely.
I love MMA. You have the Throw in the Power, the 3T podcast.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We've grown up watching this. This is a big part of our lives. Wrestling in particular for me.
facts. Yeah, wrestling was definitely a part of my life, bro. We used to go to Notre Dame Joy Center and watch all the Ricky the Dragon Steamboats, Bushwhackers. You know what I'm saying? They all used to come up there all the time. My dad used to get tickets from work because he used to work at EWI before they went out of business and laid everybody off. He used to get tickets or whatever. We used to just go there all the time. Like I seen the Bulls play over there and everything, bro. So it was just like wrestling, just part of life, period. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like way back when, man, I'm talking about Coco Beware's
Coco with
great
his bird Frankie.
great
Yeah.
Buddhas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I mean, I can go on and on, bro. Like I'm definitely an advocate of this game for sure.
I remember, I think it was like 1993 or something like that at Notre Dame, though. I think the main event was a cage match between Macho Man and Shawn Michaels. And at one point
Whew.
in time, Macho Man hit Shawn Michaels with something, and Shawn Michaels' gum went flying out of his mouth. And the lady 2 seats in front of me caught it,
In
and
her mouth?
she caught it in her hand,
Oh
and she
my
put that shit
god.
in her mouth. And I cannot make that
Oh,
up. She caught it, and I was
oh,
just like, "That's fucking gross. That's someone
that's so
else's gum."
gross.
And then I watched her go. She didn't even look around or nothing to see if anybody was watching. She just,
That's gross.
yeah.
That's gross. You just want to chew on a wrestler gum, bro? That's nasty, bro. That's like Mr. Perfect gum. Like, who would want to chew on Mr. Perfect gum? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Jerry Crow
there's some
juice.
freaky bitches out there. Somebody get down with Mr. Perfect.
Look, man, that's bro. That was a perfect segue into my next person. Who you say that he was fighting?
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Come on, man. One
Is
of
that your number
man.
two?
Yes, sir.
See, I had him as an honorable mention.
Yes, sir. Man, Macho Man, bro. Uh, the coldest promo cutter in the game to
That's what he's
me.
on coke all the time.
Hey, so be it. When he threw that finger up, and look, and he get to talking, and then he throw the pinky up. Brother. And then, like, man, outside of that, bro, he was a super athlete, man. I love him so much to the point where I watched his documentary. Man, never knew that he played baseball,
Yeah,
and he was one of like the first players in the system of baseball MLB for real to be able to be ambidextrous. Like he was a pitcher, you know what I'm saying? He pitched real good, and then he learned how to pitch with his opposite hand. And they was saying they was trying to like stop him from playing or something like that, man. And they didn't want him to do that. They wanted to try to keep him in a different position. He ended up cutting that off and got hurt. Ended up healing up, coming to wrestle, man. And the rest is history, bro.
the
Man,
Macho King.
man, that's the guy, dude. Like,
See, I was so jealous of him growing up because he had my dream girl, Miss
man,
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah. And who didn't want to Miss Elizabeth though, for real, bro? She was something else, man. Yeah, and then like to be able to come in and automatically get to work, man, with some of the greatest, man. And him and Hulk Hogan and all them, they made good wrestling, man. Most definitely made good wrestling,
Absolutely. I can't. I'm not going to argue with the Macho King. You can't.
man. That's
He
my
was one of the
guy.
first. I think he might have been the first wrestler to actually get like promotion deals and shit too.
Shout out to Slim Jim. Would never be a
Yeah,
Slim Jim fan
I
if
think
it
he might be
wasn't
the.
for
I think
Macho Man. I
he
promise you.
might be the original one to actually get like a promo deal too.
Yeah, most definitely. That's like, man, he definitely treated it like a sports, like it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, getting that Slim Jim promo deal changed the game, bro. In that time for sure. Because when did no wrestler have no promo deals?
Yeah,
None. Hulk Hogan started getting them after the fact. Macho Man got that Slim Jim deal. I feel like so. It was like, yeah, when nobody getting no love like that, Hulk Hogan might have been getting a lot of love, but not like Macho Man. I feel like Macho Man to me is like Anthony Hardaway to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Hardaway would have been Kobe status if he wouldn't have got hurt and his body wouldn't have did what he did. That's another talk, but it's just an analogy, to compare the two. You know what I'm saying? Like Macho Man, he did all the great shit, but they never really gave Macho Man his just due. You know what I'm saying? Because of the outside issues and stuff like that. So I mean, you can't mess when you mess with the business, you get treated like dirt. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
for sure.
Well, you went ahead and once again can't make this shit up. Great segue because the person that Macho Man had real life smoke with in real life over Miss Elizabeth is my number one, Terry Hulk Hogan.
Mm.
We're talking about
Oh,
the most influential
man.
wrestlers of all time. You could not, wrestling would not be where the fuck it is right now without Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan back during the Iraq War days His theme song, "When It Comes Crashing Down and It Hurts," that was so dope, man. Say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother. He might have been the first one out of all the wrestlers to get a movie deal too. Back in the day, he did a what? No Holds Barred
King Kong Bundy was in
with
moving.
Zeus. Tiny Lister, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
Zeus
that,
Tiny
like
Listen.
he did a Suburban Commando. Did you ever
I
see that
remember
one?
that.
Well, that
I
was
remember I watched every last Hulk Hogan movie for
that
sure.
was the Undertaker's debut in the film industry and everything. But
Yeah.
let's just go ahead and talk about Hulk Hogan here for a little bit.
Go ahead,
He
man.
earned the first person, in my opinion, ever to earn Andre the Giant's respect. Andre the Giant did not have to give up that belt if he did not want to give up that belt.
True.
And Hulk Hogan earlier in the match tried slamming him, and he just didn't have it. And then eventually Andre was like, "Here, I'll help you." Like slam, slam. Like kind of yelled that out. And Hulk helped him slam him down. And
Right.
that WrestleMania match is still to this day one of the most iconic matches of all time. We're talking Hulk Hogan, 12-time world champion, 6-time WWF champion, 6-time WCW heavyweight champion. He was champ for 248 days in 1991. Between 89 and 90, he was champ for 364 days. We're talking 84 to 88, 1,474-day title reign. Founder of the NWO. When he crossed over, that started the Monday Night Wars. I don't think we would be where we are. Anybody else we had on this list would not be there if it wasn't for somebody like Hulk Hogan. Back in the day during the Iraq War, him fighting the Iron Sheik. Iconic.
As much as I love, to say that I would have Hulk Hogan as the number one, I don't think he is my number one.
You giving him an honorable mention? Or you done with it?
He definitely get an honorable mention, man. It's Hulk Hogan, bro. It's Hulk Hogan, man. We can't bypass that. The fact that
if your number one's not Hulk Hogan, I'm extremely interested to see where we go with this.
It's not Hulk Hogan. It's not Hulk Hogan. As much as I don't think he influenced a lot of people. Because there's some tough ones, bro.
You think we would have John Cena and The Rock in as many movies as they are if Hulk Hogan didn't help pave the way for that?
I mean, Hulk Hogan was not he wasn't a bomb actor, bro. He was horrible at fucking acting, first off. Horrible.
He still broke the ground, though. He opened that door.
For who, though?
Any other wrestler moving forward in the film industry, in my opinion.
I mean,
the only other person that I really even saw doing anything was Andre the Giant, because he was in The Princess Bride or whatever. And then at that time, the only other person that was in a movie that I was aware of was Roddy Piper.
I mean, my number one is Ric Flair, bro.
Thank you. Like I said, I had him as my number two.
My number one is Ric Flair. I feel like, man, Hulk Hogan, when he had a chance to continue elevating, he left and went to WCW. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you go over there and you fuck that whole everything up, bro. You try to take that Hogan mentality with you over there, and it didn't work. Because you had
NWO was one of the biggest things that ever. What are you talking about?
But it wasn't big, bro, until Kevin Nash and Scott Hall came.
Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were there, and Hulk Hogan was their third member. They were already there.
A third member.
When they finally said why they were there, because they were the outsiders at that point in time.
Then you coming over there and you don't even want to fight nobody. You supposed to be the greatest guy. You over here setting up fights, bro. You got people getting pushed on the ground, bro. Who does that?
Well, that was later. That was later on. That was after that ship had sailed.
Like, it sailed fast. It sell pretty damn fast. I'm blessed for it to be around, and I'm blessed to see it at a time of life that it came. But bro, I would damn near throw like, man, it's an honorable mention I had on the side. Sting, bro. Uh, you know, bro, if it wasn't for Sting, we wouldn't know who Ultimate Warrior was. Ultimate Warrior and Sting was on a tag team with each other. You know what I'm saying? And they was, dude, I promise you, you can look it up right
No,
now.
I'm just saying you can't. I, I'm not agreeing with the fact that without Sting, you would never have known who the Warrior was. And actually, fun fact,
How did we find out who the Warrior was then?
because the dude was an absolute fucking freak of nature and was like had so
And
much,
he got exposure with Sting. That's how he got into the actual game for real, because Sting was already in. And then, as he was Steve Borden, he was fighting under his real name. You know what I'm saying? And they like, well, we got this other Jack guy that lift weights, and you
Yeah,
know what I'm
I know.
saying?
I know they put them together as a tag team.
You feel me? So it's like once he did that, that's when his exposure came. He didn't really get a lot of exposure because, bro, we all know in the business, if you're not good on the mat and you know what I'm saying, you can't take certain directions, they're not gonna put your ass in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, Warrior got his feet under, you know what I mean, got his feet wet enough to get picked up by, you know what I mean, Ted Turner and them. Boom. Why not put you with Sting? You know what I'm saying?
The
At the
Warrior was
time,
the one that took the belt from Hulk Hogan.
man, history. You know what I'm saying? That
I've
was one of
actually
the
actually
hardest.
actually met the Ultimate Warrior when I was younger.
WrestleMania 2 history, to be exact. You say I met Hulk Hogan. This is what's
Yeah.
crazy. That's a good.
I met
I
I
met
met the
Hogan.
I met the Ultimate Warrior, man. I was younger and I didn't. He used to have gyms all over like Arizona. So we
Hmm.
were on vacation or whatever. We were out in like Scottsdale, Arizona. We went up to Warrior's gym and I got to see all the cool coats and shit he had. Like
That's
over all the
dope.
years, they're hanging up in the gym and all of his like because his belts are everything was extravagant that he did. It
Yeah.
was awesome to see. But he wasn't there. We went back the next day and like he was actually going into the gym. And I met this dude in the parking lot and shook his hand and got a picture taken with him. My mom was like, "Oh yeah, I was the Ultimate Warrior." I was like, "Bullshit." She's like, "No,
That's
it's like that was
dope.
the Ultimate Warrior." I was like, "Where's the makeup?" She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "He didn't have his face painted or
Right.
nothing. That's just some regular ass dude." Like, I wish I could find I wish I had the picture somewhere, right? I just don't know where it would be. But yeah, I
Man,
think there's
right,
actually a picture of little big headed Sean standing next to big old jacked Ultimate Warrior.
hey, man, I definitely remember them times, bro. I enjoyed them as a kid too, going to see the live wrestlers. Like I said, Ricky the Steamboat was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up too, and I love watching him all the time, and got to see him live more than once. The Bushwhackers, one of
I
my
love Luke and Butch.
man, one of them just passed, I think last year or a year before, or something like that too.
One of them has still to this day. I think it happened in like '97, the quickest elimination in Royal Rumble
Oh,
history.
right when he came in, bro,
Yeah,
he literally got tossed right out.
but
Literally, though, just
we also have the Ultimate Warriors Royal Rumble moment. I think it was like the 1990 Royal Rumble. He got eliminated. He was fighting Bad News Brown. I think he got eliminated. And then came back in the ring after he got eliminated.
bad
Eliminated like
news,
5 or 6
Brown.
people after he had been eliminated, and then just took off like a fucking madman up the
Hey,
ramp.
just jumped right out the
Yeah,
ramp, though,
he's
just
like just
took off running.
went in there and cleaned house, and then took off up the ramp.
Oh man, no, it's definitely classic times in wrestling, bro. That's classic. I remember that like plain as day. I used to get all the videotapes and get recorded pay-per-views at the time, because growing up you had to damn near order them on channel 3. You had to
Yeah,
call in
you used to
and
just
order the
blindly send
pay-per-view.
money to a PO box somewhere and hope you
Right.
got something back.
And then hopefully they
To the
send you
younger
the
people,
hopefully they give you the hopefully they send it in time before it start too. Because if you didn't get it before the pay-per-view started, then you wouldn't even be able to watch it.
yeah.
You could hear it, and it just be the squiggly lines in the TV, and you'll just be sitting there trying to figure out what's going on. Like, somebody getting slammed. But yeah, man, yeah, bro, that was tight, man. I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? There was definitely some solid, influential people some definitely solid lists off the gate. Every last one of them guys, you know what I mean? Kudos to y'all for even being able to give us a chance to have conversations like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's part of life. But yeah, man. Hey, y'all see what's going on, man. Build your squad, man. You know.
Tune in next week if you want to see us rip each other in half, because I
Oh
can
yeah.
guarantee you that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope y'all ready next week. It's straight it's straight ripping half next week. So man, make sure y'all tune in, man. It's your boy Cap the Great CTG. Got my big dog, you know what I mean, Ace in the building. You know, I hope y'all go check out too, or y'all haven't checked out the latest episode, which just dropped a couple hours ago at 6 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. Jello Suspense just dropped. You know what I mean? The newest episode for the weekend. So if y'all missed that, go tune in. You know, because there's definitely some good
Oh, you're
content.
going to learn some shit this week.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you definitely will. So you better go ahead and get your notes. You know what I'm saying, and tune in because it's got some, bang bang up in that thing. You know what I'm saying. So man, appreciate you sliding through, bro. Can't wait to do this again next week for real, man.
Absolutely. Everybody, thank you for watching. It means the world to us. Thank you
Yes,
for all the
sir.
support. Thanks for tuning in.
Man, and then man, last but not least, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on the Patreon. You know what I mean. Definitely gonna be pushing more content over there soon. Follow us on Rumble too. It's not on there right now, but y'all can go over to rumble.com, look up Good Synergy. You know what I mean, and y'all see us right there over there. We all over Spotify. Y'all can follow us on all. Make sure y'all go over there. Follow my man Jello Suspense, all platforms, Facebook, Twitter, for sure, YouTube as well. And yeah, man. I mean, y'all see what it is once again, man. Your boy Captain Great and Honcho, Ace O'Neal, you know what I mean? Honcho. Man, appreciate you sliding, brother. Until next time, man.
Yeah.
Build your squad, man. Make sure they tight.